My name is Kelvin, and this is my story and experience about love. I'm a very shy guy, and expressing my feelings to a girl was something I struggled with. Heartbreak was a foreign concept to me until I experienced it firsthand. I had a friend, David, who seemed to effortlessly attract the attention of girls. I often teased him about attending a college full of girls because of the constant female attention he received. While I was still living with my parents, I had no real interest in pursuing romantic relationships. It was only when I left my parents' house for college that my perspective began to shift. In college, I lived alone, and weekends became particularly boring for me. I decided to talk to David about my desire for a girlfriend who could spend time with me, perhaps even stay over occasionally. David found this amusing and wondered who had given me such advice, as we had never discussed this before. Nevertheless, I was determined to make him understand my sincerity. Eventually, David began bringing different girls to my place, and sometimes they spent the night together. I reminded him of my initial request, but he insisted that I shouldn't rush into a relationship, as he was still searching for the perfect girl for me. He didn't want any girl to give me problems, but as time went on, I started to lose interest because it was taking too long. Then, one day, David brought one of his acquaintances, a girl named Mary, to my place. We all engaged in conversation, and I found myself enjoying their company. Mary and I laughed and talked together, and I couldn't help but be drawn to her. However, I didn't get a chance to exchange contact information with Mary, and she didn't visit again for quite some time. We were finally free after our examinations, and I contemplated going back home. Still, David encouraged me to stay, and I agreed. One day I brought up the topic of Mary during a conversation with David. I hadn't seen her in a while, and I wanted to know more about her. David advised me to forget about her, claiming she had many admirers and was known to be untruthful. He said he only used her when he wanted companionship, but didn't have any romantic feelings for her. I expressed my belief that he should be more open with her if he had feelings for her, instead of treating her as a fling. David then asked if I wanted to be with Mary, and I admitted that I felt I was falling in love with her. David was initially against it, suggesting he could find someone else for me, but I was insistent. I agreed to a one-time encounter with Mary with the hope that it would allow me to get closer to her. Love had entered my heart, and I was determined to pursue it, even if I knew little about her past. And so, the story of my unlikely and complicated journey into love began.